Good morning. Welcome, everyone. I am Reverend Robin Volker, Senior Minister of Unity of Gainesville, Georgia. And welcome to Sunday morning, May the 3rd, 2020. Let's turn within, have a moment of prayer to bring all of our energy into this time and space. So sweet, sweet, sweet presence. We acknowledge your energy and life with us today, moving within each of us and within the technology that we use. We call forth the optimal outcome for this time together. Our desire in joining across airwaves and spiritual community is to raise and increase our understanding of spiritual truth. To that purpose, we are greatly dedicated. So we prioritize our time and our energy so that we can be here in a sense of oneness, collapsing all time and space and seeming distance. From this place of gratitude, aligned with purpose, we begin, and so it is. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we are praying our blessings on technology, and hopefully, right now, we will bring to you beautiful music from the beautiful Deb's Road.
Thanks so much, Reverend Robin. It's good to be here with you again today. And good morning, Unity Gainesville. So wonderful to be with you as well. This morning we're talking about finding the beauty within and without. And I wrote this song called Beautiful, Powerful, Marvelous, about finding the beauty within yourself. How can anybody dare to try and tear you down when you are hard enough yourself with no one else around? But I can see the pain and tears you try so hard to hide. You feel like you're not good enough no matter how you've tried. There is so much more deep inside of you. When you awake the truth within, you will see it too. How beautiful, how powerful, how marvelous you are. How beautiful, how powerful, how marvelous you are. I wish I spoke the language that can reach the part of you that's deeper than an ocean and the darkest shade of blue. But words are simply meaningless when you feel less than whole, and you just want acceptance and a vision for your soul. There is so much more deep inside of you. When you awake the truth within, you will see it too. How beautiful, how powerful, how marvelous you are. How beautiful, how powerful, how marvelous you are. How beautiful, how powerful, how marvelous you are. How beautiful, how powerful, how marvelous you are.
Thank you, Debbie. We are so blessed to have you join us. Today's message is Awaken to Beauty. Life is a mystery, isn't it? And during this spring of 2020, all of us are navigating such tremendous changes in our lives due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Rick and I went to Walmart the other day, and what a process it is just to be able to get a few staples So I just have to take a breath. It's a process to have church, but I'm so grateful that you are right here with me this morning in these rapidly changing times. There may be a sense of bleakness that happens in your life because all the changes are coming so quickly, and they are coming to all of us. It isn't like a hurricane or an earthquake where just some part of the world's population is in a feeling of disaster, but there's a tremendous sense of oneness everywhere around the planet because we are all experiencing some effects of the COVID-19. In spite of all of these outer distractions that may be causing internal anxiety for you, we can look for beauty. We can look for beauty and awaken to that beauty within ourselves, within others and the world immediately in our environment, and for the whole world at large. As we begin to think of this concept of beauty, I invite you to think beyond just the physical. And we begin to realize that beauty actually can be used interchangeably with the word God. So when we say that God is a mystery, beauty is a mystery. And we already said life is a mystery. It's all a mystery. So we're going to take just a few minutes and see if we can find some substance within all of this mystery to hold on to. As a minister and as a coach and spiritual counselor, all I can do is give you a little nudge to point you in a direction to try to stimulate your own thinking and your desire for growth and deeper awareness. It is true that when we think about self-growth, that we have to make a decision and say yes to some things and no to other things. We have to make a decision about how we are going to use the mental and emotional energy of our lives. And these responses are constantly changing because the world around us is changing so quickly. So every day, every moment, you and I have a choice. And these choices add up to the person that we are. It's a product of our thinking. We are a product of our thinking. We create the world that we are experiencing. And as we begin our quest for beauty, I invite you to first, let's look at ourselves. Do you see the beauty that is within you? Can you answer the questions, who am I? What am I? You can read thousands of books, attend hundreds of lectures and Sunday mornings and workshops, and still not know the answers to those questions. And don't be discouraged about that, because there are many mystics who have only found their answers to those questions when they were at a breakdown point. Did they receive their breakthrough illumination? So let's not be discouraged if you're feeling like you have absolutely no idea who and what you are this morning. What you are is really moving in and through you this very moment. The essence of your life purpose is calling to you today. And there may be fear that is blocking that calling, but that calling is still there. And the beauty of that calling is urging you to awaken to whatever that meaning is. What is it that you really want to do with your life right now? What is it that you really want your life purpose to be about right now? Now, perhaps you already know the answer to that question. For me, I am constantly trying to align what I think, what I say, and what I do into one continuous process. I don't want to be a jumble of assorted reactions to life. I want to be on point with what I feel I am called to do. To me, that is a part of beauty. It is only in the private inquiry that we can find the answers to the most powerful questions that we have to ask. And from this inner place, a beauty begins to emerge within us that is comforting and that is enlightening. Much of Christian theology has been concerned with sins and errors of humankind. And this focus promotes emotions of guilt and fear and shame. To discover and live our inner beauty, we must balance these negative emotions with the qualities of awe and love and freedom and happiness, confidence and compassion. Negative attributes do exist in the world, and negative actions do come from negative people. And they enter into our experience. As spiritual people, we must find a balance between constructive or positive attributes of ourselves and of life, and between the destructive or negative attributes of life. That is what we're all being called to do, especially at this time right now during the COVID-19 outbreak. We are being called to find a balance between beauty and fear. We must find this balance in our thinking, and we must allow that to transcend outward into the choices that we make and the actions that we take. And we must allow this beauty to be real to us, to speak to us, to minister to us. It is in the spiritually mature person where we find a balance between the good and the not so good qualities of life. I personally don't know anyone who is exhibiting the good qualities of life or the Christ qualities of life all the time. And I'm not really sure that that exists, but I do see and admire people who can find balance in that and can call forth on a consistent basis more of the good or Christ qualities in their lives. One of the things that I know for sure is true for me, I find it much easier to slip into the negative qualities of my life, and it takes, for me, more effort to stay in the good or Christ qualities of my life. Maybe that's just practice on my part, but I see that in other people as well. Why is this the case with most humans? I have no idea. But it is very frustrating that it seems much harder to keep my thinking and my responses between the ditches, so to speak, and to keep myself from falling off into the negative, woe is me abyss of thinking. So I call forth beauty. I begin to awaken and turn my focus toward this idea of beauty. Sometimes that is by calling forth God in my life and focusing just on God. Sometimes it is by calling forth love and focusing on love. And sometimes it is focusing on beauty and trying to find that beauty within myself and within the world around me. So I'm using these terms, beauty and love and God, all interchangeably. So when I begin to describe the essence of God, I am describing a beautiful life, and I'm describing a life of love, a God life. Awareness of such intention can help us to transcend this duality between this experience is good and this experience is bad. When we are striving to awaken to beauty in our lives, then we can look for the beauty within all of our experiences, not expecting our experiences to all meet just a certain criteria before we call it beautiful. So we can look at whatever experience is coming forth into our life and we can say, oh, what is this? Where is the beauty in this experience? How can I find beauty despite the fact that this appears so ugly or so bleak? If we are brave enough to search through the nuts and the bolts of our lives with this kind of authenticity and courage, then I think that we will find that life contains for us much more than we imagined possible, even in the midst of challenge. Calling forth beauty in this way suggests that beauty really is something beyond our perceptions, it's beyond our experiences, and it's beyond our circumstances. The search for beauty, as in the search for God and the search for love, is a journey into the meaning of life. And the experience of something beautiful is a reward for our perseverance. Think about the birth of a child and that newborn baby coming into the world. Is that birth experience not the reward, not a reward, not only the reward, but one of many rewards, but the first reward of the long-awaited experiences of pregnancy and the effort in delivery? Think about the beauty of the unfolding of an iris or a rose or your favorite flower. Think about the beauty of witnessing something majestic in nature, the Grand Canyon, a glacier. What is something beautiful that takes your breath away, that you can call to mind when you think about that external beauty in nature? Beauty goes beyond the hardships of life. Beauty makes living worthwhile. How does beauty feed your soul? To find and experience real beauty, we must go deeper. We talk a lot about changing our thoughts. And, it's said that if we change our thinking, we can change our lives. But I've discovered that it's not merely changing a thought. I have to go deeper and find the meaning of that new thought. And how do I want to embody that new thought? It's not just enough to say, I'm going to think differently today. We have to go into a deeper experience of that and awaken to what does that new thought mean in my life. Spiritual growth is not merely about changing your mind about this situation or that situation. It is not a Pollyanna and it is not a placebo. Spiritual growth is resisting the contentment of the same old, same old. It is resisting the pull of the familiar and being willing to explore what you yet do not know or understand. To find beauty, we must continue to dig deep, to dive into the depths of our being, to question, to observe, to explore, to try, to take the time to create new habits and to remove ourselves from our standard automatic reaction. Beauty is about becoming aware and releasing ourselves from habitual habits that no longer serve us. We have to transcend these outer layers.
We have to recognize that beauty is deeper than that and call forth our inner Christ nature so that we can begin to see beauty and experience beauty beyond what we may have previously defined. Here's an example of how we can do that. 1 Corinthians 13 says, "If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal." So let's substitute the word beauty for love in this verse. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have beauty, I am a noisy gong and a clanging cymbal. If we only experience beauty, skin deep, so to speak, we're just clanging and making noise. When we touch into the reality of this real beauty, this beauty that comes from the depths of our inner being, then we can look upon so many experiences and find beauty. Here's a couple that may be really easy to find the beauty. If you can catch that iris in the early morning when the sunlight is drawing those petals open while the morning dew is still fresh on the flower, then the experience of awe creates within you beauty that you may not be able to describe. Here's an even deeper one. That newborn baby, if you have the opportunity to hold it while it takes its first few breaths of life, the beauty in that is beyond words that we can describe. If we can turn toward all the situations in our lives and draw them forth and embrace them with the opportunity and openness of these two examples, how might we all be able to start to bring forth a new level of beauty that would raise the consciousness of the whole world? This kind of experience with beauty simply is. It cannot be taught, it cannot be caught, and it cannot be contained. And the really, really good news about beauty is that there is no lack. It is for everyone, and we can all enjoy it. We can all raise our awareness of it and begin to experience it at deeper levels because it's universal. It has occurred to me that everything in the universe is seeking to be recognized. Even those things that we may not think are beautiful. Everything is seeking to be recognized. Every morning, our Labrador Junebug lies at the base of the stairs waiting for either Rick or I to come down from the bedroom. And for years, I thought she just needed to go potty. And maybe she does. But I have come to realize that she is waiting there patiently to be recognized. She's waiting for her good morning strokes and rubs around the ears. She's waiting to be told that she is beautiful. And she's waiting to be acknowledged for her work of keeping watch over the homestead during the night. I think it's that way with humans too. We are each waiting for the beauty within us to be recognized and acknowledged. We are each waiting for our contribution to life to be acknowledged by others. Ultimately, don't you think that we all want to feel safe enough to be who we are? And don't you think that we are all eager, especially now after we have been sheltered for weeks, we're eager to allow the beauty of who we are to show up reflected in the eyes of a beholder. This, to me, is awakening to real beauty. I'd like to share with you a short but poignant story. It's called The Most Beautiful Heart. One day, in a heavily crowded place, a young man began shouting, "People, look at me! Look, I have the most beautiful heart in the world." And many people turned to look at him and were stunned to see his beautiful heart was a perfect shape, it had no flaws, and it looked quite amazing. Most people who saw his heart were mesmerized by the beauty, and they were standing around him in awe. But then an old man pushes his way through the crowd of people, and he challenges the young man. And he says, "No, my son, you do not have the most beautiful heart. I have the most beautiful heart in the world." And the young man said, "Well, show me, old man." So the old man bared his heart to the young man and to the crowd. It was very rough, uneven, and it had scars all over it. In addition, the heart was not in perfect shape. It had lost its shape. It appeared that bits and pieces had been lost or torn away, and then other pieces that were different colors and textures had been mixed in and had been added to be filled into those gaping holes. The young man started laughing, and he said, "Oh, dear old man, you're mad. Look at my heart. Look how beautiful it is. It's unblemished. It has nothing wrong with it. And look at yours. It's full of wounds and holes and blemishes, and all your parts are not even the same. You have pieces and parts from some other hearts." And the old man said, "I have the most beautiful heart because I have shared it. Do you see these scars? Each scar represents love that I have shared with another person. And I share a piece of my heart with others, and when I share my love, in return, I get a piece of their heart, which I fix in the place where I tore out a piece of mine to give to them." The young man was speechless and shocked. And the old man continues, "And some of the pieces of my heart that I have given away, I've never received anything of equal value back from others because some of the people that I have not loved me in return. My heart is not in shape. It's not in the original shape that it was in. And your heart looks fresh and full, and because it has no scars, I would guess that you have never shared it. And is it true that you have never loved? That you have never given the beauty of who you are to another?" The young man stood still. He couldn't speak. Tears are flowing down his face. He walks toward the old man, pulls off a piece of his heart, and gives it to him. It is so true that love begets love, that beauty begets beauty. And as we learn to express our beauty from the fullness of our heart, we will simultaneously open up to receiving more love and beauty in our lives. Today's message is an encouragement to awaken to a whole new way of seeing your life, your inner self, others around you, and our world at large. To be willing to see beauty and love everywhere you look, no matter how red the maps might be, or how much fear you may have in the middle of the night. Look for beauty and focus on that. And allow that to grow as you would allow the beautiful iris to grow in your yard. As we dive deeply into the possibility of finding more to appreciate in our lives, then we become more enlightened. Our beauty begins to glow from the inside out. And that beauty exists, whether you can see it or not. Ultimately, you are the master of your own experience. You possess the filters through which you see the world. The invitation today is to put on the filters that allow you to see the beauty in all things. Let's pause for reflection and meditation.
Here and now, in this present moment, God is here. God is here. Here and now, in this present moment, God is here. God is here. Here and now, in this present moment, love is here.
We join now in
Love
prayer.
is here. Here and now, in this present moment, love is here. Love is here.
As we join with people all over the world, we join our spiritual consciousness with all who are praying. So in this moment, you're encouraged to breathe, to slow down, relax, enjoy. Imagine with me that it is still dark when you arise from your bed. The time before dawn is so sweet. In this moment of guided meditation, awakening early is not painful, but very refreshing. So just breathe in the freshness of the morning air. Imagine yourself in your happy place, somewhere in nature, on your deck, in the park, in your yard, and hear the first call of the birds in the trees. In the distance, a rooster crows good morning with his cock-a-doodle-doo. And as you imagine the stillness of a clear, crisp spring morning, allow us that stillness to descend upon your mind. And allow your mind to become spacious and pure as those early morning minutes. And lift your face toward the east as the sun's first rays lift skyward and create the dawn. Breathe. Slow down. Relax. Enjoy. Inside this new spaciousness of your mind, sit with this question. Who am I? And hear the reply. I am one of God's thinkers. I am one of God's thinkers. Ask this question. Where am I going? And hear this reply. Wherever my intention takes me. Wherever my intention takes me. What am I? I am a beautiful and holy creation of God. God thought me into existence. And I am co-creating my life with God. Breathe. Slow down. Relax. Enjoy. A few breaths of silence. With this breath, relish the new awareness of the beauty that you are. As it awakens to you, as it awakens you, as it draws you forth, and begin to come back to this time and space, bringing with you the restoration, the relaxation, the awareness that you received. As we prepare to receive the gifts of your financial love for any benefit that you may have experienced today, I'd like to close with a reading from Kahil Gibran. And a poet said, "Speak to us of beauty." And he answered, "Where shall you seek beauty? And how shall you find her, unless she herself be your way and your guide? And how shall you speak of her, except she be the weaver of your speech?" The tired and the weary say, "Beauty is of soft whisperings. She speaks in our spirit. Her voice yields to our silences like a faint light that quivers in fear of the shadow." And the poet continued, "Beauty is life when life unveils her holy face. But you are life, and you are the veil. Beauty is eternity, gazing at itself in a mirror. But you are eternity, and you are the mirror. Thank you for joining me right here for Sunday morning. Special thanks to Deb Throat for our music today, for Rick Volker for technical assistance, for the universe participating and helping get this broadcast out to you. We'd like to take this time to invite you to share in our offertory blessing. As you take your gift and place it over your heart, speak with me these words. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I choose to give and all that I am open to receive. I give in love and receive in abundance. Thank you, God. I am so blessed. If this message blessed you in any way, please use the Give Plus text number on your screen. You simply type that number into the address line of your text function and then type the amount you wish to give in the message line. The number to text is 833-987-2047. Every gift is appreciated. We pray over each and every gift that has been received, affirming that the abundance of God is moving in and through the life of each giver. If you are more comfortable, you can donate via PayPal at unityofgainesville.org. This Wednesday, join me here again for Take a Spiritual Journey. My title is Pray Affirming. Last week we had a great time talking about prayer, and actually I could talk about prayer every week. So this week we're going to dive into Unity's 5-step prayer process. And this will be some hands-on, step-by-step information that you can use to increase the effectiveness and the reward of your personal prayer life. I'll leave you with this call to action for the week. Go in search of beauty in your life. Look all around you. Look for the physical signs, and also look within you. Look within your heart and find that beauty that is indescribable, that is really the truth of who you are. Let's close with our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And we know that all is well. Thank you so much for joining me here for Sunday morning. I'm Reverend Robin Volker, and I'll see you next time. God bless.